Hey everybody, it's me, Root Beer, and we're back with more engagement bait. So, over the years, Vanguard has had a number of commonly themed cards. Some of them have gotten a boss unit that unifies them into a coherent archetype. So think of like Android for Direful Dolls as a recent example. But today I want to know, what themes do you wish got that same archetype treatment? We're gonna start with Battle Sirens. So I'm never beating the waifu player allegations, and in general, they do tend to sell pretty well and get kind of popular. And at the same time, Aqua Force has been a pretty popular plan over the years. So waifu deck in Aqua Force feels like something that would just make sense, but they just never did it. Let's see what you all have to say. All right, so Ace Trainer Chris has the like high beast cards, all the like Gal and Gowon and Bow cards. So if we're being really technical here, there is that one Garmore stride that's like you reveal the top 7 cards and then like choose a unit for every high beast that you got, and it gets like 3k, and then if you chose 4 or more units, the Garmore gets a crit. But like Garmore as a whole, despite kind of the like Beast Fang archetype, has never really cared about High Beast. It was just this like weird one-off stride. So it would be interesting to see some sort of like big, wolf thing that's like the leader of all the high beasts, or like a high beast tamer like Akane. That was like an old staple in Aichi's decks. It's kind of surprising that she never got any kind of like reasonable retrain either. And while we're on the subject of Garmore, someone else did bring up Garmore because he never got the same kind of support and love that like Ezel or later on Gurgrit did. And yeah, I will say, if this is going to be the actually episode. They did make a random Strider for Garmore in like GBT 13, I think. And it's like actually got a pretty good effect, except for the fact that it doesn't have any good stride targets. So there's the aforementioned Garmore stride that like randomly cares about High Beast, and then there's like 2 Liberator strides that it can also go into, but both of them are terrible. These little guys from DBT 11, so they're all from the same like general theme of like the Kerhol realm. So the grade 1 can search either the grade 2 or the grade 3. Then the grade 2 is like when it's rested by the grade 3, you can restand it. And then the grade 3, when it's boosted by the grade 1, you can rest the grade 2 to give it 10k and a crit. So, they all form this like little synergy with each other, but you would imagine, since they're all from the same realm, that there's probably some like lord or something that they work for that would probably be like the boss of this archetype, right? Witch doctors. So if we're being really technical and going, actually, you are posting Negrobolt, that is all Vanguard abilities, and like Negrobolt, like the original Legion version, is kind of a competent boss unit. It's like when it attacks, if it's in Legion, you can counterblast 1, retire a rear guard to call something from the drop zone. So we're being like really, really technical. Like Negrobolt is technically a Witch Doctor boss unit, but I get what you mean, right? The spirit of this question is pulling everything into a coherent archetype, and we don't really have a card that like cares about the witch doctor name and like uses them to do something specific. We just kind of have these like generic vanguards, which is close but not like quite all the way there. Tier dragons in Dragon Empire specifically, so like outside of Stoicheia, this is an interesting one. Dragon Empire generally goes into like fire and lightning, with water being largely relegated to like Stoicheia slash like Aqua Force. Right? So the idea of water dragons outside of the water nation is an interesting one. Like more cards like Dragonic Waterfall would be cool. Or even just Dragonic Waterfall himself becoming a more like prominent unit again. Dragon Dancers. Yeah, so again, never beating the waifu player allegations, but We have had a large number of dragon dancers over the years, and it would be interesting to see them get like a grade 3 unit. I don't know what it would do necessarily, because a lot of the dragon dancers are just like generic cards. And in the switch over to like Dragon Empire, they've kind of become the Blaze Maidens, which again, if we're being really technical and going, actually, then Sagra would be the like Blaze Maiden boss unit, Draco Kid archetype. That would be another really cool idea. Like, oftentimes the Draco Kids are like lower grade units, so like grade ones and zeros. It would be interesting to see something along the lines of like Radalina, of like a Draco Kid trainer or a Draco Kid master that's like training all of the Draco Kids. So similar to the idea of like the high beast grade 3 being a beast tamer, we'd have some sort of like Draco Kid trainer as a grade 3 boss unit. We literally have this. Steam Maidens ruined the format for the better part of a year. More variant cards from Dark Irregulars during V era. So there were all this like series of cards that like sort of supported Brufus, as the like OP said here, but the idea of like, okay, these like cool shape shifting dudes that could like take on these more powerful demonic forms would be a cool idea for like a themed deck. Okay, ignoring Neo Nectar, we also actually do just have Claudine in World Castle. So, if we're being really, really technical, there was that one trial deck that had a 10k grade 3, and that one does specifically care about Demon World Castle as a name, unlike the Witch Doctor cards, but I get what you mean. It's been a very, very long time since that trial deck came out, and they never really revisited the idea afterwards, so seeing a revival of the Demon World castles would be a cool thing. The Trumpeters. Yeah, this is a cool one. So, when I saw this, I'm also thinking that, like, the Paladin clans also have a lot of violinists and other, like, instrument players. It would be interesting to see, like, a orchestra themed deck in Keter Sanctuary. So we have like Leonore, that's like a marching band. So seeing an orchestra themed deck in Keter Sanctuary would be something that's really cool to explore. The Maid Sisters that were introduced in Brantgate. So once again, never beating the waifu allegations, but yes, we do have this series of like little maid robots from a while back where they all kind of get abilities based on their specific order or like searching out each other. So it would be more interesting to see like more of these maid units being made, or like the master of the house, or like the head maid is like the grade 3 boss unit. I'm a sucker for maid archetypes. I would play this. I too would love to see Oracle Guardians being a proper archetype. So again, actually, this has a Vanguard ability, but you know, I would just like to see a full archetype of like Greek statues just coming at you. I've always loved the art of like Oracle Guardian Nike, which is just like rocket punching you. Just imagine like the Link Jokers are invading, and there's just this army of Greek statues just going bam. Okay, so I was also thinking about Divine Sister when I made this topic, but Battle Sisters technically exist, and Divine Sister is just like, what if we made Battle Sister, but it wasn't actually an archetype, so we don't have to print premium support? But yes, I would like to see Divine Sisters being a real deck. I would play the hell out of it. I do like my waifu archetypes. And then finally, we have Naichi Sendo just being like, okay, what if we just have giant supports? Because you can't really tell what is or isn't a giant in art, so it would be really funny to put down a card and like, wait, that's a giant? And that's going to be it for this video. It turns out there are a lot of ideas for new archetypes in Vanguard, so if you're ever looking for ideas, Bushiroad, eh? Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.